The climate crisis is humanity's crisis. Just listen to what the scientists are saying. When the ice caps melt, when sea levels rise, when the earth cannot be farmed, when food and water shortages are the norm, it creates refugees and displaced people and wars over water, food and land. It means that the children who are now learning to walk are at risk when they reach retirement age of living in a world so utterly changed that vital societal functions will have broken down in various countries. If you deny this, if you deny science, can you really look your children in the eyes and say that you know better than science and that you will ignore their future? And those of you who doubt the seriousness of the situation, could you look your children in the eyes and say you are willing to imperil their future? I could not. I'm not afraid because the science also tells us that we can avert the threat. All of us who do see the seriousness of the situation must therefore focus on how to act. Over the past 100 years, Sweden has made an enormous transition from poverty to prosperity. We have transitioned before and now we will do that again. No one can solve the climate crisis on their own in their everyday lives. It requires a strong society where we solve this together, where we take the necessary political decisions and implement a transition that includes social justice. Because we will continue to drive cars also in the future. We will continue to fly, continue to have our industries, but it must be done in a climate-smart way. Making this possible requires the complete rebuilding of society, and we are on the right track. Sweden has demonstrated that it is possible to pursue progressive environmental policies. We will soon have our first electric motorway in Sweden. We have companies at the forefront of efforts to develop fossil-free steel. We have worked on the transition for a long time, but it is not enough. We now need to continue the transition in industry, in transport and agriculture. We will be the generation that solves the challenge of the climate crisis. Sweden will be the world's first fossil-free welfare nation. Because a successful transition leads to increased growth and increased security, living seas and a living countryside, stronger exports and a stronger society, new innovations and a renewed faith in the future. We will not take the risk. Society will transition. That is what we will say to our children.